time and the world do not stand still. Change is the law of life, and those who look only to the past or the present are certain to miss the future. I said are certain to miss the future.
Oh no, I missed that.
Alright. Dude, how about that intro? So freaking iconic with all of the 4 characters there. The first ever celebrity crew we got, but I'll get into that. Anyways, what's up guys? It's Poochie. Welcome back to another video here on Black Ops 1. And I gave a little spoiler at the end of the Kino video, my last video. Welcome to 5, man. This is one of my favorite maps, and I'm going to explain all of the reasons why I love this map so much. But before I get into that, just wanted to remind you guys, if at any point in today's video you are enjoying it, please do be sure Please do be sure to subscribe. I would appreciate it a lot. Now let's get into it. 5, and why I love this map so much. Dude, there's honestly so many reasons why. The simplest way I can break it down for you, and if you guys watched my Varuk video, it's going to be a lot of the same reasons why. Simply because I just love a challenging zombies map. And it doesn't get any more difficult than this, if you really think about it. Whether that's in BO1 or in all of zombies as a whole. You could make the argument that this is the hardest map of all time, and I definitely feel that way, for sure. And that's arguably the main reason why I love this map, dude. Because I've said it a bunch in the previous videos, and I'm going to say it now. I'm a hardcore player, and the difficult maps are what grab my attention and what keeps me coming back and replaying maps. And out of all of zombies, out of all the Treyarch games, you know, BO1, 2, 3, 4, Cold War, BO6 now, and World at War, this is the map that I find myself coming back to the most out of any map in all of zombies. And why is that? Simply because of how challenging and difficult this map is. And I love mastering a map, and I love the sense of basically beating a map. And this is the one map out of all of zombies that I feel like I have not done that yet. And I'm going to throw up some gameplay now as a nice little segue to what I'm talking about and what I'm referring to. So normally in all of these videos, I will play the map like for the first time in a long ass time and just give my initial thoughts and opinions, right? This map I've been playing for the past week. Why? Because, and I just said it, I feel like I have not mastered this map, and I really want to get good at it. And what you guys are seeing in the gameplay right now in the background is me practicing and playing this map for a week straight, trying to get to a high round on this map, because I've never done it. And it's so rewarding once you can pull it off. And I feel like I've gotten really close to pulling it off, a high round strategy on this map. And if you guys are unfamiliar with that, it's training in the spawn room on 5, because there's no infinite damage wonder weapon on this map. So at a certain point, like in the mid to late 30s or really 40s for sure, you have to refer to, using the traps, because there's no other way to get rid of the zombies. And that's why this is the hardest map of all time, because I feel like, and I mentioned it in the Varuk video, how that's one of the hardest maps. The thing with that is there's only 24 zombies in World at War, and they don't endlessly spawn. You know, you get rid of one wave and that's it. Whereas 5, you keep going and going and going. That the number of zombies per round continuously goes up, which makes this the hardest map of all time in my opinion. And because I have not mastered it, it's why I come back to this map so freaking much. So for the past week, I've been running the high round strategy, and I feel like I've gotten really good at it, and I just wanted to show it off because I'm honestly really proud of my progress, and I eventually one day want to get to round 100 on this map. But that little tangent aside, why do I like this map so much? I said because it's really difficult, and because I haven't mastered the map, it has me coming back. But besides that, why do I like it so much? So let's just start from the beginning, the intro cutscene. This was the first ever map to introduce a celebrity cast. You have JFK, you have Castro, you have Nixon. I always forget the 4th guy. But yeah, dude, first ever celebrity cast, and it was a trend that we got to see throughout the Treyarch games, the Black Ops games, and it was the first of that tradition, I guess, that we got in every single game, no, but the games following it. And they started it off with a bang, bro. The 4 characters on this map, they're hilarious. The quotes, like, you could literally play this map and just for the quotes alone. Like, I think my favorite, I'm playing as him right now, is Castro. I think he's my favorite character. Some of the ridiculous quotes that he says. JFK is also hilarious, but yeah, dude. First ever celebrity crew, and it makes this map unique just for that reason alone. What else do I like about this map? Dude, what I like the most about this map, honestly, is the special round that we got, the Pentagon Thief, bro. And it's a damn tragedy that with BO4, when they reimagined this map, that he did not return, because the Pentagon Thief adds a brand new challenge that we've never seen before, you know? The special rounds in the past, up to this point, it's only been Hellhounds. But it was to throw a different challenge at you. Not that it's super hard, and what I wore was actually kind of difficult, but not that it's super hard, but just it throws a new challenge at you, keeps you on your toes, and you're rewarded with the max ammo. Simple concept, but it just spices up the gameplay a little bit, right? Dude, 5 takes that idea and ramps it up 10 times. Dude, it's such a unique challenge because you're at no threat to die, but the Pentagon Thief can set you back so much, bro. Like, say you get your favorite gun out of the box here in BO1, whether it's, you know, the Galil, Commando, AUG, HK, RPK, whatever it may be, right? If you're not, like, set up enough to handle the Pentagon Thief, he will take that gun, he will yoink it from you, and he can set you back, like, pretty dramatically, pretty drastically, you know? And I feel like he brings that, he spices up the gameplay more than any other special round we've ever seen. And he brings that sense of, like, anxiety to the game, which I feel like you should have in a horde mode and a survival mode. You shouldn't be for certain that you're gonna make it past the next wave, and he provides that unique challenge that it was like a very welcome change and something that zombies needed, because you didn't want it to just be Hellhounds forever, right? So it was a very welcome change, at least for me, and it adds to the difficulty of this map. But I enjoyed it, dude, because if you were prepared for a said challenge, right, you get rewarded with a bonfire cell, which we've never seen that before up until this point. If you can get rid of him before he yoinks your gun or any of your teammates' weapons, he rewards you with a bonfire cell, which allows you to pack a punch for 1,000 points. Dude, that is insane. Say you already have 2 guns that you really like, and you're able to get rid of him before he takes your gun. Bam, only 2,000 points, or 3,000 if you have Mule Kick, and you are completely set up just like that. So he is a very difficult boss enemy, I guess, to deal with, or special enemy to deal with. But if you are ready and prepared, he has one of the greatest rewards that you will ever see. So it's kind of a gift and a curse, you know, a double-edged sword, if you will, because he can really help you or he can really hurt you, and you just have to be prepared and play around it. And it just provides, like, such unique gameplay to this map, dude. And just adds to the challenge, which I very much like. Now, speaking of challenge, BO1 launched with 2 maps, as we know, with Kino, and here we are with 5. And people were really divided. I mean, honestly, it wasn't really divided because most people played Kino. But you had 2 maps, you know. In theory, you would think that the player base... Ooh, let me get this. Oh! It's going to be split up 50-50, no? But that was not the case at all, bro. If you were around back then, I would say the ratio of players between Kino and 5, I'm excluding Dead Ops Arcade here, but the way the players were distributed between Kino and 5, it was probably like 80-20. And why is that? And the simple answer is 5 was just too difficult for a lot of people, and I feel like most people did not give it a chance. You know, a lot of people's first ever zombies experience was, oh my god, okay, I'm good. A lot of people's first ever zombies experience was Kino, and I feel like the reason why people were so put off by 5 was we went from one of the easier, I'm not going to say easiest, one of the easier maps in zombies, you know, just train on the stage with the thunder gun. It's literally that simple, but we went from a decently easy zombies experience to what, the hardest map of all time, and I feel like that's why people put off this map so much. And for a lot of people, again, it was their first ever map. BO1 and specifically Kino put zombies on the map more so than any map ever. So you're telling me that Kino is a lot of people's first ever map, right? And their second ever map is the hardest map of all time? Like, you see what I'm getting at? And because of that, a lot of people put off 5 and didn't give it a chance, and I feel like that's why, dude, it's not even slept on. It's just, I feel like people didn't even play it, bro. And if you're like me and you enjoy the challenge of zombies, this is one of my favorite maps of all time. And I said it at the beginning of the video. I think of this map so highly because of the challenge it presents, and I find myself coming back to it more so than any other map still to this day. 15 years later, this is the map I come back to the most because of how difficult it is. And I feel like people don't embrace challenge, and they stuck, especially back then, they just stuck to Kino and that's it. And, you know, I understand that 5 wasn't for everyone, but all I ask is that, I mean, obviously it's way too late now. I mean, who's still playing BO1? If you are, for sure give it a chance, but I just wish back then people would have gave it a chance, because I feel like there's so much more depth to this map that Kino was just lacking, you know? Up into this point, leading up to this map, we kind of like found the foundation, and we found the formula to zombies, you know? You open up doors, or you spawn in, open up doors, get to the power, hit the mystery box, get your perks, get to Pack-a-Punch, and you're all good, right? And that same formula still exists here on 5, but the challenge and the difficulty level was just so ramped up that even though it had that same gameplay formula that everyone knows and loves, no one gave it a chance because of how difficult it is. Now, why is this map so difficult? I mean, you can see it in the gameplay, just how close, compact, and confined this map is. It really, especially down here in the labs, you are not given much room to work with at all. And that put off a lot of players, you know? There were a lot of downs on this map because you didn't have a lot of room to work with, and then especially with the Pentagon Thief, say you're having a rough game, but you hit the mystery box, you get a gun that you really like. Okay, next round, Pentagon Thief round. He steals your gun and you're pissed off, you leave the game, or whatever the case may be, right? There was just so many factors to why this map was so difficult. It's really tiny, really compact, really condensed, like I said. The Pentagon Thief comes in, yoinks your gun. On top of that, there's not a lot of training room at all, really. Now, here in this room, you have a couple options at your disposal. What most people did was just open this barrier, that barrier, and run circles. But that's really only enough for one person, you know what I mean? The way I prefer to run it, and I'll show you guys later on in the game, is running like a little banana formation. You really just go back and forth right here. I leave these barriers closed to give me a little loop around area to turn back. But yeah, I mean, this is really the only room you have to work with. And that's not enough for 4 people at all, you know? At least on Kino, with the stage, there was enough room for 2 people, you know? Even myself, a really underrated training spot on that map. I like to train in the spawn area, like literally, just straight up in the spawn room, and that worked for me. But you see what I'm getting at? There was so limited room to move around on this map that it put off so many people, and people just straight up didn't like it. But I feel like just, I mean, it's my opinion, I know a lot of people aren't gonna agree with it, but I feel like we took a step forward in the gameplay because I feel like Kino, the gameplay loop was so simple. You know, you turn on the power, get your perks, get Pack-a-Punch, and you just train on the stage. Whereas here on 5, and it's really similar to what I was saying in Maruk, you have so many strategies at your disposal, and it just makes the gameplay that much more dynamic. Like, you never know what you're gonna get in a match of 5. Whereas on Kino, you're gonna hit the box, get your Thunder Gun, your Ray Gun, train on the stage, and that's it. It's the same thing every time. And the Pentagon Thief adds so much to that gameplay loop, you know? You could feel like you're set up, and then he pops in, yoinks your guns, and he sets you back, you know? And oh my god, I didn't even Pack-a-Punch. I'm here rambling. I activated the Pack-a-Punch so I can get Mustang and Sally's for the Pentagon Thief. Now I'm gonna be screwed. I went in there and Pack-a-Punched the MPL. Oh my god. I normally Pack-a-Punch the MPL after I deal with the damn Pentagon Thief. I'm here rambling, but yeah, dude. Because of the Pentagon Thief, you never know what you're gonna get on 5, and it adds that much more challenge. But people, you know, it put off a lot of people. You really have to play around him on this map and be prepared, but a lot of people, I guess, they were never prepared, or they just couldn't figure it out, or I don't know what the case was, but yeah, a lot of people essentially were just put off by the difficulty of 5 and just preferred to play Kino. And it's unfortunate because I feel like a lot of people missed out on so many memories that could have been had on this map. I said it in my Shinonuma video. Oh my god, I need to Pack-a-Punch. But I have this. I'm good. I'm good. That's what I'm talking about. You have to be prepared and set up for the Pentagon Thief, and I'll be good with this. But yeah, a lot of people just preferred Kino because you just get the Thunder Gun, train on the stage, and that's it. And never gave 5 a chance. It's very similar to Varuk, and you have so many options and ways to play at your disposal. You can camp, you can train, or you can go, like, once you get past a certain point and your guns just aren't good anymore, you can use the high round strategy here in the spawn room. Like, so many options at your disposal, but because people wouldn't embrace challenge, there were so many missed out opportunities on memories on 5, dude. Specifically, like camping in the Pack-a-Punch room, which is another thing that I like so much about this map, which I'm going to go do right now. Camping in this Pack-a-Punch room right here, in this oval office, with friends was the funnest thing ever, bro. Having a person here on this back window, having a person here on this back window, and then 2 people up front. Some of the greatest memories I've ever had on this map. And another reason why I like this map so much, this Pack-a-Punch room is so cool and so iconic because you're in the freaking Oval Office, bro. It's such a unique location, and this map in general is so unique. We're in the freaking Pentagon, bro. But yeah, camping here provides a unique gameplay experience. The elevators, you can camp in each one of those. And that's a different way to play the map. You can train, let me get past these zombies, out here in the war room. There's so many options at your disposal, and then you can, if you get to a high enough round and your guns crap out on you, you have the option, and it's very difficult to pull off. You guys saw at the beginning of the video, but you guys have the option to train in the spawn area. Like, there's so many options at your disposal on this map, but because of the, I guess, inherent and built-in difficulty with this map, mainly because of the layout and how small and compact it is, a lot of people didn't give it a chance, and it sucks, dude. But, you know, 5, at the end of the day, 5 isn't for everyone, and that's okay. You know, I think of this map very fondly. I have so many memories on this map, and if I'm left alone on that island, on that boat, that's okay. I will never forget all the memories I have on 5, and it will forever be one of my favorite maps of all time. Again, I love the difficulty on this map. I love the characters on this map. I love the Pentagon Thief on this map. The Pack-a-Punch room, which I was talking about, is so unique. The location gives you an amazing camping spot. It's in the freaking Oval Office, bro. You have the teleporter behind you to fall back on. And that's another thing that I haven't even touched on yet. I'm gonna kill myself, bro. I gotta stop messing around here. But that's another thing I haven't even touched on, the teleporters and the travel, I guess, fast travel on this map. It's a gift and a curse, the teleporters, dude. A double-edged sword again, because we've seen teleporters a couple times at this point. Nice ray gun. We've seen teleporters a couple times at this point in zombies, but they changed up the way it works, and they gave you, you know, on Darius we had 3 teleporters. Here on 5 we have like 6 or 7 teleporters at your disposal. But the way they changed it up is by giving you don't know where you're gonna end up with the teleporters. You're given a random chance of several locations, several floors, and that's another thing that adds to the difficulty of this map and what put people off. It was a cool way to traverse the map and another way of transportation, right? But say you use the teleporter, right? You use the teleporter and you're in a really bad sticky situation. That teleporter can throw you into an even shittier situation. Like, say if your teammate has a shit ton of zombies on him, right? That teleporter can throw you into an even shittier situation. So again, a really double-edged sword with the teleporters, but I find it really cool, and I feel like because I like the challenge, it adds to the challenge of the map. You know, the randomness, you don't know where you're gonna end up, and that just spices up the gameplay that much more, you know? The only thing that was for certain with the teleporters, in the labs, the bottom floor, if you use the teleporter in the spawn room, that would always take you to the 1st or 2nd floor, and that was the only thing that was for certain with the teleporters. And you kind of had to play around it, you know? If you were in a sticky situation, yes, you could use the teleporter, but because you didn't know where it was going to take you, it may lead to your death. So it just added to the challenge of this map, and I guess another reason why people put this map off and didn't really play it. But just look at what I did right now. If you're prepared for the challenges that are presented to you on this map, you get rewarded so much, and it's so satisfying to have a clean game of 5, because I feel like this map, more so than any, to be honest, you're allowed to express your skill and how good you are at zombies. I feel like there's no bigger flex than honestly what I was doing in the beginning of this video, being able to go to high rounds on this map because of how difficult and challenging it is. Can I get to the... Okay, this is not where I wanted to end up. But there's no bigger flex than this map because of how challenging it is. And there's nothing more satisfying than being able to pull off high rounds on this map. And if you, like, dude, back then, if you could show to your friends, like, yo, I could play 5, I enjoy 5, I can get to high rounds on 5, there's no bigger flex than that. I feel like in your friend group, if you had someone that enjoyed 5 and liked playing 5, they were typically the best player in your group because they knew how to deal with everything that was thrown at you on this map. And because I'm a hardcore player and I like going for high rounds, I like the challenge that zombies brings to me. Again, it's just why I come back to this map so much. I eventually want to be able to say that I've mastered this map and quote-unquote beat this map by getting to around 100. And I've never done that, so I feel like until I'm able to accomplish that, I will always come back to 5 and want to essentially beat it. But at the end of the day, I just, you know, I just enjoy the challenge that this map brings. I really do. And you guys saw in the beginning of the video, I want to be able to get to around 100 using that strategy. Now, let me talk about that a bit, because I haven't really gone in depth about that. That's just another layer to this map. If you've never, and what, like, that's another layer to this map if you haven't even tried it, and why there's so much detail and so much depth to this map. You can't just go up there right away and train. You have to set up the windows, and let me explain. So there are 6 windows in the spawn room, and you guys could see it in the beginning of the video. Hell, I might even throw up some gameplay of it right now. There are 6 windows in the spawn room, but for whatever reason, and I don't know why, like if this was a gameplay decision by Treyarch, but for whatever reason, out of those 6 windows, zombies are only allowed to spawn out of 4 of them. And ideally, what you want to do is keep 2 windows closed. And I'm sure you can see in the gameplay right now. Keep 2 windows closed so that you're able to have a little safety comfort zone that'll allow you to train up the zombies really well, and then you run them through the trap. But to get said windows set up, you need to go up and down. I'm going to cut back to this gameplay. This elevator right here. You need to go up and down the elevator from the war room to the labs. You don't have to be in the elevator itself, but you need to call it either up or down, and that resets the windows, oddly. Why that's a thing, I don't know if it was a gameplay decision, a bug, or whatever the case, a glitch, whatever it may be, but that is how the windows work in the spawn room on 5. They also change if you enter the Pack-a-Punch room as well. But yeah, that strategy is so difficult to pull off, and the gameplay you guys just saw was a week's worth of practice, bro. A week's worth of practice. And I was gonna bring this up later on, but let me know. I'm gonna ask you guys right now. I want everyone that's hearing this, please drop a comment, because I would love to do this for you all if you guys want to watch and would be willing to watch. Now, hear me out. After I talk and after I make a video and give my thoughts about every single zombies map up until this point, I think what I want to do, if you guys are willing to watch, is post high round guides, I guess. Like, basically my first ever video that was published on this channel, that diarized round 100. I want to do that, obviously with commentary, with voice. I posted that one video and just didn't like the style of content, you know, with all the subtitles and stuff. So I want to give that another go, but with commentary this time, and explain and show you guys how I'm able to pull off high rounds on each one of these maps. Now, if you guys are willing to watch that and want to watch that, please drop a comment and let me know, because that's something that I've said in a bunch of these videos that I'm really passionate about. I love going for high rounds and challenging myself, seeing how far I can get. So if you guys are interested and want to watch that, please let me know. Especially on this map, bro. I've said it a couple times in this video, this is the map that I find myself coming back to the most. So if you guys want to see that style of video, please drop a comment, because I will for sure do that for you all if you guys want to watch. Because with the difficulty on this map, it makes it one of my favorites of all time. And I guess that's a good segue to where I would have this map ranked amongst my favorite maps of all time. So, the tier list that we've been doing every single video now. So, just from order of how we've made these videos, right? I'll just go top to bottom, actually. So, my tiers, I have Derice at the very top thus far, out of all the maps we've played, right? I have Derice in the GOAT tier. And you guys heard me glaze the ever-living hell out of this map. I've said it's one of my favorites of all time. I know that's an unpopular opinion. That's just how I feel. It's my video. I'm here to give my thoughts, you know what I mean? So, 5 is one of my favorite maps of all time. Now, it's not going to be in that GOAT tier where I have Derice, because I said it in that video. While I really love 5, and I said it in the Derice video, I really love Verrucht, I also want a well-crafted zombies map that has that challenge in it. And Derice just has everything and does it all so well and so perfectly. You know, Derice, you have a decently challenging map. It's definitely not one of the easiest maps of all time. So you have a map that presents challenge. You have iconic camping spots. You have the iconic Pack-a-Punch for the first time ever. There's just so many things to love about Derice. I talked about it a bunch in that video. If you guys want to know my thoughts, go watch it. So Derice is one of my GOATs, one of my favorite, greatest maps of all time. I don't think 5 is in that category. While I said I do like a lot of things about this map, you know, the crew, the Pentagon Thief, the inherent difficulty, which really comes with the layout, I really enjoy. The Pack-a-Punch room I really like. It's very unique with the war room. I like a lot about this map, I really do. The teleporters, unpopular opinion, I really like them. The elevators, all of that, right? I like all those things, but at the same time, it's a pretty flawed map. I just said I like the teleporters, but the fact that there's no consistency to them is objectively bad. I just enjoy it because it adds to the difficulty, but it's not a good feature, you know what I mean? It's really not. And puts a lot of people off. It adds to the difficulty, and a lot of people just don't like it. So teleporters objectively bad, even though I like them. The only other thing that I dislike about this map, and it's a really big issue, quite honestly, and I haven't even talked about it yet, is the wonder weapon, bro. The Winter's Howl, and I don't even want to even try to even bother hitting the box for it because it's a piece of crap. But the Winter's Howl is arguably, if not the worst, one of the worst, if not the worst wonder weapon of all time. I don't even want to try to bother hitting the box for it because it craps out. Like, it doesn't one-shot zombies past like round 10, bro. Now, granted, I'm really crapping and poo-pooing on it. It is better than, quite honestly, everything in the box other than what I have right now. It's better than, you know, I love the guns in this game. The Commando, Galil, AUG. I love all those guns. HK, RPK. It is better than those guns. Truthfully, it really is, just in terms of how many zombies you can kill. But the guns that I have right now, it is not better than Ray Gun and Mustang and Sally, so it's a piece of crap. It stops one-shotting like at round 11, 12, 13. And there's just so many better options on this map. Like I said, Mustang and Sally, Ray Gun, upgraded crossbow I'd rather have, so it's a piece of crap. So that's another thing that I dislike about this map, and I can't think of much more that I dislike. Teleporters, I like and dislike, and Wonder Weapon is a piece of crap. Everything else I love about this map, but because of the reasons I just said, it's flawed. It really is. So where am I going to place this map? I said it's not in the GOAT tier with Doris, but it's going to go in the tier right below that in my amazing maps, and I truthfully feel that way. That's honestly how I feel. Unpopular opinion for sure, but it's going to go in the amazing tier next to Varuk. Now the question is, would I rather play 5 or Varuk? And the answer to that is 5. It really is. And it's my, up until, or thus far, with all the maps we've talked about, it's my second favorite map so far that we've spoken on. And I would honestly play it over Varuk. Now why is that? I said in Varuk how I love how difficult it is, and it provides so many different ways to play, you know what I mean? 5 does that exact same thing. Varuk, there's multiple camping spots. You have a training spot in the Thompson room, or you can train around the whole map. You can kind of do the same thing here on 5. You're presented with multiple camping spots, whether that's the elevators, the Pack-a-Punch room. You have a training spot here in the war room. You have a high round strategy in the spawn room. So a lot of ways to play this map too, and I feel like it's more difficult because there's no cap on how many zombies there are per round. And because I'm someone that likes the challenge, I like difficult maps, I'm going to place it above Varuk for that reason. Also, I mean, there's just more features on this map. You know, you can't crap on Varuk too much, because it is, after all, the second zombies map ever. But there are more features on this map, you know, specifically Pack-a-Punch is a huge addition. Pentagon Thief, you know, just having a special round in general. So that's just why I enjoy playing 5 more, and why it's in the amazing spot in my tier list. Let me know down below in the comments if you guys agree, disagree with how I feel about this map. I know it's an unpopular opinion, but I just really, oh my god, look at all these drops. I just really enjoy this map. I love all the features that it brought. Pentagon Thief, I've said, first ever celebrity crew. I love the difficulty, and it's just my favorite map that we've discussed so far in BO1. We've only discussed Kino and 5, but I am a 5 enjoyer over Kino, and you know, that's just me. I hope there's someone listening to this video that agrees with me. I doubt it. Everyone loves Kino over 5, but that's okay, you know, I'm entitled to my opinion, and I feel like, I mean, I've said it already, I come back to this map more so than any map in all of Zombies, and that's not the case with Kino. I said it in that video. I feel like that map is aged like milk because you do the same thing every single time, whereas here on 5, you never know what you're gonna get, mainly because of the Pentagon Thief and because of how difficult the map is, and I love it for that reason. So again, let me know if you guys agree, disagree with my thoughts and opinions on this map, and I'll be sure to look down below in the comments to see what you guys are saying, because I know my take on 5 is very controversial, but I love it, bro. I really do. So again, let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. I haven't even talked about the game that we're in right now. I briefly brought up the strategy of doing this banana formation or circle. And I'll show it off a bit right now. You really just run back and forth. Oh my god, my game. You really just run back and forth between these two barriers. I like to keep them closed because it gives you a nice little cutback area where you can train up the zombies really well. Just throw yourself here in this corner in this cutback, and you're able to get rid of all the zombies really, really easily here with the ray gun and the Mustang and Sally. So that's really what I like to do on this map during the early rounds. Now I know a lot of people don't go for high rounds, so this is honestly the strat I would recommend for anyone that still plays this map. If you're not someone that intends to go to round 50, 75, 100, and you just want a chill game of zombies, I mean, there really is no chill game of zombies on 5, but if you want a chill strat, just do what I'm doing right now. Sit right there by Jug with the ray gun. I should be using the Mustang and Sally for insta-kill. But yeah, sit right here by Jug with the ray gun. And then if you have to run around through that banana formation and cut back, it's really simple strategy. And it's honestly quite similar to what you do on Kino, you know what I mean? Granted, there's not nearly enough or the same amount of space that you have on Kino, but if you want an even easier version of the strategy, open up both barriers and you can just run circles here in the war room forever. Now the thing is, you don't have the thunder gun on this map. You have the Winter's Howl, a piece of crap. But you can do what I'm doing right now, you know, just get the ray gun, Mustang and Sally, hell, even the Winter's Howl for 20 rounds maybe before it craps out on you. And you can run circles here. I just feel like people really... That's gonna blow up all my... Or that zombie blew up all my claymores. But yeah, dude, people just didn't give this map a chance. And it's a damn shame because if you like training like how people did on Kino, you can do it on this map. You know what I mean? Just give it a try. Just... What I would say is play around and prepare yourself for the Pentagon Thief, and he will have an amazing reward for you. You know what I mean? It's just so disappointing that, you know, especially back then, you know, honestly, not many people are playing zombies these days, let alone Black Ops 1, but it's disappointing that back then no one gave this map a chance. When I feel like, again, you guys saw my tier list, and I've talked about it in this video a bunch, I feel like 5 is the better map. Just my opinion, and I know not many people, if anyone watching this video, is going to agree with it, but I feel like 5 is the better map, and it's disappointing that people never gave it a chance back then. Because if you want to camp, you can go in the elevators, you can go in the pack-a-punch room with friends, that's a good time. If you want to train like how you do on Kino, sit here in the war room and you can do that too. And you have a very fun and interesting challenge presented to you with the Pentagon Thief with an amazing reward, bro. Like, what are we talking about? Like, why didn't people... I know why, because it's too difficult and people didn't give it a chance, but I don't understand why people didn't give it a chance. It's like, oh... It's so frustrating, and it's 15 years later and I'm still pissed off about it because I was one of those people in my friend group that enjoyed 5, and whenever I'd be like, yo guys, you want to play 5, it usually was a no. Now whenever I got my friends to say yes, it was always a good time because we would camp in the pack-a-punch room or in the elevators, and I have so many memories doing that. The people that I name dropped in my last video, Trueborn, Paratus Warrior, those are the people that I did the strategy with, you know? Camping in the elevators or the pack-a-punch room, or hell, I'll even name drop some more people. Legit Slayer, my other friend Adam, or Project Paragon. Like, I miss playing zombies with those guys so much. Miss playing on Kino and this map specifically. These two maps more so than any map. Just so many memories, bro. But we are already here on round 29 very, very quickly. You guys see the strategy I'm doing. It's really simple, and you can see it took me... We're not on round 30 yet, but it basically took me to round 30. You know, this map... as long as you give it a try and you practice, it's not that, I mean, it's the hardest map of all time. I'm here saying it's not that difficult, but just give it a try and learn it, man. Please, I swear to God. It is difficult, don't get me wrong, but you can pull it off. And if you, like, master this strategy, it's honestly not that difficult. Like, I haven't been in a single really life-threatening situation in this game, you know? Just chilling here with the ray gun, Mustang, and Sally, and having a good time, bro. Now, if you want to push it further than this, like, my ray gun, my Mustang, and Sally are going to crap out here in, like, 10 rounds. If you want to push it further, you're really left with no choice but to train in the spawn room. But it's super rewarding if you can pull it off, man. It really is. There's a reason why I showed off that gameplay in the beginning of the video, because of how proud I was and how satisfying it was to damn near master the strat. I feel like I got like the gameplay loop and I got it down. Now the question is, it's just a point of, do I have the patience to sit there for 10, 12, 14 hours and pull that off? I don't know if I have the patience for that, but I will do it one day, I swear to God. But yeah, I mean, that's really my thoughts on 5, guys. We're already approaching the end of the round, I think, and approaching the end of this video. You guys know I usually just play until round 30, or play until I die, whichever happens first. But yeah, those are my thoughts and opinions here on 5. Let me know if you guys agree or disagree with my opinions on it, and where I have it ranked amongst all of my favorite maps of all time. And thank you for watching, guys. I appreciate it. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And before I go, to anyone that's still watching this video, I brought it up earlier, but I'm going to say it again because of how passionate I am about this map. If you guys want to see me go for round 100 and make like a guide video after I talk about and discuss all these maps, if you guys want to see me go for high rounds with commentary, please let me know, because I love this map so much. I just talked for 42 minutes straight about my thoughts on this map, and I didn't get bored a single time. I love this map. But let me know, please, if you guys are still watching, drop a comment if you guys want to see that, because I will for sure do that for you all. But that's it. I'm going to get out of here. Thanks again for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. It's been Poochie. I will see you guys next week. Peace out, guys.